Okay, the first card we got out, darkness. Now, this card represents a lot that's been happening with the Divine Masculine. It's been an intense time. And yes, the recent full moon eclipse and Mercury retrograde does not make anything easier. But basically, the darkness is part of what needs to come through. It needs to be released. In order for positivity to come through in any relationship, especially when it comes to a divine counterpart, the darkness needs to be released. If you don't look at your fears and let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, the negativity, there's never going to be positivity because you're always going to be hiding it. It's kind of like sweeping it under the rug. And that's where a lot of relationship problems happen. So this is where you have to focus on the changes. As the Divine Masculine is starting to get it, there's starting to be like slowly a new beginning, a new change is happening with them. We've been seeing that in recent readings that something is sparking up, something is like being amplified. Though we don't know exactly how and when it's going to happen, if you're going through a relationship crisis, and you'll notice when there's a crisis, you'll know like this is not right, you know, like maybe that person isn't responding to your text like they used to, or they seem to be distant, they seem to have something that they're hiding, and you don't know what they're hiding. It's not that they're hiding anything. It means that there's something that's uncovered. There's something that's being released. Like I talked about the darkness. And in order for the change, guys, this is the way it has to go. In order for the change, you know, we have to go through stuff. We have to experience sometimes like extreme measures in order for us to find true happiness. And this signifies a new beginning. When there's a new beginning, you know, that like when there's an ending, I should say, when there's an ending, there's always a new beginning. Sometimes things are bittersweet, and sometimes it's like very, very extreme to the point where we say, why is this happening to me, but it doesn't happen to other people? I see other people with the same type of situation. You know, their girl or their guy is always catering to them, giving to them, loving them, showing them so much love. But my person is not showing me anything, barely even calls me or texts me. It's not you. And you know what? It's not them either. Sometimes it's not meant for the two of you to come together at that time. Sometimes it's a little bit later, and that's why you have to take a step back. You have to focus on what, you know, what your heart is saying. It's not about you making things happen because you want it that way. You have to remember something. It takes two to tango, and when a relationship seems like it's just going downhill, 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 it's time to rethink, what am I doing in my life that is productive, and what are they doing in their life that's productive? Now's not the time really to have a sit-down talk, because we are still in Mercury retrograde, and it's going to be like that, you know, till the beginning of June. Then we have the shadow phase. So what you want to do is you really want to focus on what is good for you, and you know, maybe like focus on that. It's a self-reflection, as this card says. And when you self-reflect, you'll find out that there's a lot inside you that you may not have discovered. You might just fall in love with yourself all over again. I know, sounds like, oh, yeah, right, I'm going to fall in love with myself. Yeah, you can. That's the whole point of, you know, loving yourself. When you love yourself, a lot of people, you know, just like it's like follows you, and it's just a common thing. If you don't find the love for yourself, you're never going to have someone love that person, that beautiful person. Yeah, you. And I don't mean to point, but I'm just saying it's you. You know who I'm talking about. And when you don't love yourself, it's impossible to really find love for anybody else at the same time. You know, we hear a lot of things with other people and we want that love. Well, you have to just find it. You have to find it inside yourself. Take action. It's time to take action and, you know, start doing things for yourself. Maybe that person that you're with, maybe you need a timeout. Maybe you guys need to have some space. And maybe they're with someone. Maybe they're, you know, involved, and you know that that person isn't right for them. It's not your call to say who's right and who's wrong for anybody, because sometimes we are with people for various reasons, and you know, like maybe it's not the right time for you two to come together. Sometimes you're in a relationship, they're in a relationship, but though you know that that person is, you know, meant for you, and they know that they're meant for you, and there's nothing you both can do, you know, when there's certain circumstances involved. You know, I'm not going to go into it, but I've seen a lot of situations where they come together miraculously, and, you know, you don't plan it. You're not supposed to be the one to always put the energy to make a relationship happen. If it's not happening, don't force it. A relationship is supposed to be easy. And it comes with self-love. Because if you're not doing self-love for yourself, if you're not loving yourself, that's where it becomes, very emotional. And I know sometimes, you can't help it. I know. And sometimes there's such a deep vibe, a deep connection with that person. And you know what? You have to stand your ground. You have to, follow what your intuition is telling you. If your heart is telling you that you need to, push forward, you need to do something, then you have to follow it. But if you have to force everything and, they never call, they never communicate, they never do anything, it's time to take a step back and let them take the lead. Sometimes it's a little bit longer than usual, but if you start having the patience that is necessary, put the patience to work, because sometimes that's what we have to work on, our life lesson. And you have done so much. Resilience. You have conquered. You are a warrior. So always remember that. Don't do things to yourself that you find hard, extreme, because that's when the stress comes in and you forget to love yourself and you forget to have the love in your heart for anybody in your life. Because yourself, you're not giving the love that you need for that person. So you automatically feel hurt inside. You automatically feel pain. And that's not good. That's not good for anybody. So it's time now to just like take a step back and focus on yourself. Take a step back and focus on people around you. Take a step back and look at the love that you love for that person. Maybe you're not giving them the love that they need, and maybe you need to put the effort. There's different ways to look at it. Is there messages coming to the divine? It's not me telling you what to do. Obviously, I can't do that. Nobody can. But I'd like to give you the messages that are being given. And, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. And if you'd like to get your own personalized reading, I do offer phone chat and email readings. The links are down below in the description area. And you guys can check out my blog articles. I have several articles about soulmates and twin flames and all divine counterparts that are in my blogs as well, my websites. Okay, so I just want to say to you guys, I love you all. I know my readings are a little bit more shorter, but I'm trying to get more to the point and get right to the heart of the matter, the message that's necessary. I do plan to do some lives. And pull out cards for everybody, and stay tuned for that. I will announce it on my Instagram, possibly Facebook and YouTube. We'll see how it goes, but I'm always on Instagram. So if you guys are not following there, I'd like us to connect. It's great. It's a great place. I love it. So anyways, thank you all for positive support and just being there for me. I really love it. I really love you guys all for it. And until next time, God be with you all. Namaste.